Dear students, welcome to yet another heart-touching session of Cakewalk Reading. So let us discuss the reading task for the day based on psychology titled The Need to Touch. The central idea of this reading task is touch is extremely important in human life. However, COVID times have deprived us of this wonderful feeling, which we now need more than ever. Along with the vector, it is also a cure now. Hence, instead of inhibiting, we should promote it, and the need to touch should be the first priority in defining the post-pandemic new normal. Full stop. For a detailed explanation, please keep viewing further. So students, here is an article which emphasizes the importance of touch in our lives and why it is so difficult to dream of a touchless world. The author starts his article by stating that touch is the first sense by which we encounter the world and the final one to leave us as we approach death's edge. And it always tells the truth. Even our biology bears out that human fetuses are covered with filaments which enjoy the pleasure to touching mother's womb. This is the same warm and calming feeling that a child later derives from being hugged. Lately, touch has been going through a prohibition era. The 2020 pandemic has given a rough time and has made touch the ultimate taboo. We are all afraid of touching each other. It is a great taboo next to coughing and sneezing in public. COVID patients generally lose sense of smell and taste, but it is the sense of touch which got diminished from all of us and which has paid the highest price. In COVID-19, if physical distance protects us, it also stands in the way of giving care and nurturance, as caring for the ill inevitably involves touching them. Not only in providing basic care like washing, giving food to them, this is called instrumental touch, but also in giving mental support and providing comfort, and this is called expressive touch. Research establishes that the beneficial effect of massage therapy goes well beyond the act maneuver performed by the therapist. Hence, there is no care or cure without touch. As people cannot touch each other physically during pandemic, nor can they meet them, so they try to compensate and try to be in touch through social media. This is the reason why most of us are glued to our smartphones even more in the pandemic times. According to the author, apart from the pandemic, the second reason from touch skepticism is the growing global awareness of how touch is a weapon that men use to impose their power over women. After the Me Too movement, not only men and women but also doctors, nurses, teachers and salespeople are all guided against getting too touchy. This is against studies which suggest that touch actually improves the quality of our encounters with any of these professionals. What makes touch unique against other senses is its mutuality. While we can look without being looked at, we cannot touch any person without being touched in return. Hence, it was a great help for nurses and doctors during pandemic who couldn't talk, smile or being seen properly, yet could reassure parents with their touch that they were not alone. What an irony! Along with the proven vector, touch is also a part of the cure. Many research in 1990s proved that shocking consequences of touch deprivation were there in human development. Children from Romanian orphanages who were barely touched in the first years of life had cognitive and behavioral deficits later and significant development in differences in brain development. Touch is especially important as we age. It is fine to have increased the amount of food intake in a group of institutionalized elderly adults. So therefore, even when we can't see, hear or speak as we need to, we can still rely on touch to explore the world around us. Touch is so vital that even the language of digital communication is saturated with touch metaphors. We keep in touch and acknowledge that we are touched by a kind gesture. In these vulnerable COVID times, we need touch more than ever. It should be promoted, not inhibited. We need the nuance to recognize its perils, but avoiding entirely would be a disaster. The pandemic has given us a glimpse of the life that would be without touch. Hugging our loved ones is therefore the first things people want to do once the pandemic is over. The author concludes that in the current environment, the idea of a renaissance of touch is not just for the brave and the foolish. We lose a lot by depriving ourselves of touch. We deprive ourselves of the most sophisticated language we speak. We lose the opportunity to build new relationships and might even weaken existing ones. The need to be in touch should become our first priority in defining the post-pandemic new normal. A better world is often just a hug away. Therefore, the author claims his right to touch and to dream of a reality where no one will be touchless. So students, this is the article, and what a beautiful article. It is written on the sense of touch. It says that what is love to you? It's being hugged by your mother, hugged by your father. What is love? It is being hugged by someone. When we make business dealings, we shake hands and we touch people. When we greet festivals, we touch and we just hug people up and wish them the festival. So how do we express love if not by touching? But COVID has really caused inhibition to touching. We are not touching people, and that is why we are feeling more sad and lonely. So it says that we cannot go like earlier because the pandemic is going on. But touch should not be avoided altogether. Maybe in family we need a hug even more badly than we need it earlier, as we feel sad during pandemic. So we should not deprive ourselves from touch, and it's one of the most sophisticated language that we speak. It can make our relationships better. It can avoid relationships from breaking. We should not avoid touch, and the need to touch should be the first priority in the post-pandemic new normal. Human beings cannot live without touch, and without touch they will always be lonely and sad. So here is an article on importance of touch and why we should not have a taboo against touch. Touch is very much required for our well-being, for us to feel better. The author has especially emphasized on the role of touch in doctors and nurses in curing patients. They have to touch, and only then the patients feel better. So there cannot be any care or any cure without touch. So this is article on importance of touch. And if you want to write the central idea, there are 2 points. Firstly, touch is very, very important. But COVID times has made a taboo of it, and it deprived us of the wonderful feeling. So what we should do is we should promote it. We should not inhibit it. And within safety measures, we should follow touch. And the need to touch should be our first priority in defining the post-pandemic new normal. We should not leave this feeling of touching. Touching is what humanity is all about. So this is all the author wants to say, and hope all of you understood. Thank you so much.